When I have a thought, I gotta let it out. It's a bright spot that I can't even doubt. My opinions, my point of view, even if things are a little chopped and screwed. So yeah, even if you disagree. So yeah, even if I'm not in your pedigree. So yeah, especially if you agree. So yeah, so yeah. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever and whenever you're listening to it. Welcome to the So Yeah podcast with your girl, Caroline M. Diamond. Now, this episode today is going to be talking all about my personal Coachella predictions. Not even my predictions, but like what I'm going to be seeing, what I'm going to be tuning into. So, if you don't know, I wouldn't call myself the Coachella queen, okay? That used to be Vanessa Hudgens, but she now is dethroned. But I love Coachella. So I started going to Coachella in 2017. I went with Madison the first year. We had GA passes. It was amazing. It was a truly unforgettable experience. And then the next year, 2018, went with a group of friends the weekend one, and we saw Chella, and it was a life-changing experience. And then I went weekend 2 and I got some upgraded passes, and then I was forever changed. Okay, I could never go back. And then 2019 we went again, and then obviously pandemic in 2020, and then 2021 it didn't happen, and I believe 2022 it came back. And so I went 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025, and now I'm going back 2026. And I personally, I love weekend 2. Weekend 2 is for the music lovers, okay? You are there for the music. And that's honestly like what I'm there for. Like, of course, it's like definitely a little bit of a business mixed with pleasure type of situation. You see this person, you make connections with people. I make connections every time I go, and I always have a blast. And weekend 1 is definitely more of like the influencer space and like seen and be seen and celebrities, and like, yeah, that has a time and place, but like that's really not why I'm there. I am there to catch the music. And I really believe that, okay, Coachella sometimes gets a bad rep, and I think that's completely unwarranted. One, people who talk the most shit about Coachella are the people that do not go. If you have never been to Coachella yourself, you literally can't speak, okay? If you have been and you do not like it, I also can understand why. A lot of walking. Honey, lot of walking. You got a lot of walking to do. And it's hot. And you're in the desert. And there's a lot of elements that go into it. It's hot. It's windy. It's dusty. But there's something raw about it. And really just connecting to the music. And Coachella really is a moment where you see kind of where pop culture in the music landscape will be moving towards into the next calendar year. And it really is the start of festival season. And I am always incredibly inspired by not only the artists, but lighting design, sound design, the installations that are there because I've been so many times, I really am looking, there's always something to look at. And I'm telling you, like, I have been, oh my God, like almost 10 years now, minus like those 2 years in the pandemic, but I will never see the entire grounds in that one weekend. Like, there is so much to see. There's so much to take in. And I find it incredibly fascinating. And like, now that I'm moving more into like, the full span of what like a music festival what goes into it, like the production value, like how many moving parts there are, I am fascinated with it. And that's why I love Coachella. And I have been to other music festivals too. Don't get it twisted. It's not the only one I've gone to. And it's not the only one I will go to. And if you ever want to invite me to a music festival, I am so down to go. All right. one of my goals, obviously, as we like, I take this and I put this in the incubator. All right. I put it in my manifestation cauldron, which is my podcast. I would love to be like, not like I don't know if I would call myself like an influencer, but like a woman of taste and a researcher on boots on the ground journalism. All right. I will tell everybody about the experience. I do gatekeep just a little bit regarding Coachella because, like, let's be real. My way of doing Coachella is a little like, it's highbrow. Okay. I'm not with the GA dolls. I'm really not. I've been there. I'm not going back. Okay. I'm telling you, I know what it's like to pee in the trailers behind main stage. I'm not going back to the porta potties. I'm really not. Like, when it's 11 p.m. on a Saturday, it is crazy in those porta potties. I've been there. I've done it. I don't need to do it again. So I will gatekeep a little bit. But if this is your first time going to Coachella, I'm going to give a little like tips first. And then I'm going to talk about the set lit or like the lineup and what I'm going to like really try to see. So hot tips for going to Coachella as somebody who has been to Coachella a bunch of times. So you need to have all your little accoutrements that you like to feel your most comfortable. What does that mean? That means gum, snack. Snack is important, okay? I have been recently getting those little Celsius packets. They're like really tiny and you can mix it with water because, it depends like when you go into the park. But the headliner doesn't go on stage till 11:30 p.m. Okay? And you need to be prepared to like be in the sun, be hot, be dusty, and then still have the energy to watch that headlining set if you choose to see the headlining set. So I like those Celsius packets. What else do I like? Always bring a bandana, something to cover your face. Sunglasses for sure. Sunscreen, definitely. Okay, coming from the pale diva herself, sunscreen. Lip balm. What else? Earplugs. I'm getting earplugs this year because we're in our 30s now, baby. And hearing is something that you will never be able to get back. Okay. And if you stand as close to the stage as I do, you need to protect your eardrums. So I'm getting loops. I'm going to get them. And that's really good. Also, like, get a water bottle. I prefer a plastic one. Sorry, environment, but one that you can consolidate and you could squish down. I like having my fanny pack. I used to have one of those like cow packs, which had the water in the back, but now with the pass that I get, I can refill up on water, like kind of in a lot of areas. So I don't need to like carry it on my back day in and day out. And that's just a me thing. Also, if you want to, with those packets, you can get a liquid IV because you will get dehydrated. What else? Always bring like a hoodie or like something you can throw over because it does get cold at night. Baby, we are in the desert. It gets cold in the desert at night. Don't be the girl that's wearing underwear and a bra and you're going to be like shivering at night. One time, not that I was like naked on the ground, but I was wearing something like a little hoochie coochie and I had to get one of those tin foil looking like a fucking baked potato in the oven. And it was diabolical. I'll never do that again. So bring a hoodie. Also, get your pictures, get all of like the posting pictures that you want at wherever you're staying, okay? Whatever it is, wherever you're staying, do it there, okay? Yes, you're going to want to take pictures when you're on the grounds, la-di-da. Prioritize footwear. I'm going to say this again. Prioritize footwear. What you don't want to do, which I see girly pops making the mistakes every year, is wearing those platform boots. On the first day, baby, you're going to get blisters. You're going to get blisters. You're going to get blisters. And then you're going to be in pain for the next 2 days. You want to start off slow. You want to slowly graduate into the weekend. Because if you come out the gate swinging on Friday, babes, you're going to be dead on Sunday. You're not going to go into the park until like 7 p.m. You don't want to do that. You're going to miss acts that you want to see on Sunday. So slowly get into it. Don't go too hard on the first day. That is error number 1. Some years it's hotter than others. Last year, I don't even think it was that hot. I did go to Stagecoach and it was fucking hot that day. I will say that. But You gotta pace yourself. You gotta pace yourself. Make sure also what you want to do, make sure that when you get home to wherever you're staying, you go grocery shopping beforehand because you don't want to go through the McDonald's drive-thru. Made the mistake. You'll be waiting in line for 5,000 years. By the time you get your French fries, you don't want them anymore because you're so annoyed, you're so tired, and your feet hurt, okay? Get DiGiorno pizzas, get frozen chicken tenders, get frozen French fries, and literally queue up the oven, preheat it, jump in the shower, or put the French fries, put the chicken tenders in there, jump in the shower, get clean. By the time you get out of the shower, your food is done. You can get into bed and you can watch. Kevin and I usually watch like Housewives together. We watch a sloppy show so we can feel like deceased together and watch something more garbage other than us. And you'll be feeling much better about that. All right? Those are some hot tips. So now we're going to talk about the lineup and what I'm going to see. So Friday is stacked, all right? Sabrina Carpenter is the headliner, and I'm going to be honest with you. I talked about this on the podcast before. I don't think that she's ready to be a headliner. I don't. Will I see part of her set because friends are in it? Of course I will. And because I'm nosy? For sure. The XX, I'll probably catch the XX. What I'm really excited to watch is 9 Inch Noise, which is 9 Inch Nails and Boys Noise together. They kind of did a little either tour together this past year or they collaborate on a couple songs and it sounds amazing. So I'm really excited to see that. Disclosure, hell yeah. Turnstile, on the podcast, I've been getting into Turnstile, which I'm excited about. If it works out in my schedule, I'll catch Dijon. I don't know. But Cat's Eye, I'm definitely watching Cat's Eye. Hello. Foster the People, I loved Foster the People's last album. I really did. And it made no noise. But you know who made noise with? Me. Yeah, because my finger's on the pulse. Leaky Leaf, it happens to work out like in my schedule, I'll maybe catch that. Okay. I think that Slater is going to have her Chapel Roan moment. Slater has been putting in music for years now. She's been putting out great music for years now. And I'm ready for the public to see what she's all about. Her singles have been amazing. Her album is amazing. And I'm ready for her to pop the fuck off at Coachella. Like, I'm really excited to see her set. I'm going to be front fucking row for that. I am so amped for Slater. And that's somebody to watch, everybody. Sorry, I'm just looking at the rest of the list. Flower of Love, I really like. But she's in small font. So she's like too early in the day on that Friday. I can't do it. I'm not going to be able to do it. So I'll probably start off the day with Slater, which, coming out the gate. Wow. Now we're going I think Friday is like a really fucking stacked day for me. Then we have Justin Bieber on Saturday, which hopefully manifest that like he's going to last weekend 1. So he goes to weekend 2 so I can see it, but we shall see. And then Addison Rae. Can't wait. Somber. Love it. Might catch a little bit of David Byrne just because like I've never seen him and I don't really know if I would ever see him. And that's also what I really love about Coachella is like people that I wouldn't necessarily like jump the gun for. Like I will go check out their sets because I'm not going to spend $120 to go to the concert, which I really like. I also have been listening to the official Coachella playlist and there's a couple people that I have been catching and one person that I saw, which will be a good, like, if it works out in the schedule wise, a good like palate cleanser. His name's Solomon and he's kind of like a house DJ, which I think will be like a good like cleansing moment. Pink Panthers I'm excited about because I saw her years ago at Portola and this was like at the beginning of her career and she was not great. And she was not great. But I really believe that she has been working and trying to get better. And I love that. Like, the thing with artistry is as long as you're putting effort into your craft and trying and going and doing, then I can't fault you for that. Like, I'm inspired by that, even if it's not my necessarily favorite, artist or like music. I might catch Royal Otis. I gotta listen to their music a little bit more. Boys Noise is playing. Geese is pretty popular, but I don't really like their music. I tried to listen to them and it wasn't really for me. Looking at these okay, it looks like that Saturday is gonna be like an easier day, which we also love having an easier day because then you can go look at the installations and then you can go into the other little there's like Antarctica, and then there's also the Heineken house. There's other things to be doing, and then you got the Do Lab, babe. I love the Do Lab. I think my friend Courtney Sequest is DJing at the Do Lab on Saturday, weekend 2, so I'll definitely be checking that out. And Sunday, Carol G is headlining, and I'll probably catch a little bit of her set, but I'm going to be honest with you, she's really not my girly. Like, I think she's beautiful. I think she's hot. I think she's talented, but like her music as a whole is not necessarily for me, but I'll definitely catch part of it. I'm sure Kevin will bring me to Cascade. I'm definitely going to watch Major Lazer. FK Twigs, which I'm really excited about because she was supposed to be at Coachella last year, but then it was like some visa shit, like with her team. It was like a whole disaster. And so she had to pull out of Coachella. So I'm excited to see her this year. I've heard a lot about Wet Leg. So if it works out, I'll maybe catch them. Clips, I'll maybe catch. Little Sims, I'll catch as well. Duke Dumont, I saw at Portola as well. He was amazing. I'll definitely watch that. Holly Humberstone, I have been listening to, and I really like her. I think she's going to be the next, like, big pop girl. I like her voice, I like the tone of her voice. Let's see. Okay, Lou. I might catch her if it works out. Cobra, I really like. She's giving, like, Kim Petras, but, like, grungier vibe. So I might catch that. And then Anima is, like, doing a whole thing, but I think that will be on Saturday after Justin Bieber. So in general, I think that, like, this happened last year. It's like, oh, the lineup sucks. Sometimes it's better to have a few or maybe like a handful of people that I actually really like instead of like, oh my God, there's so many people, I'm going to die and not be able to catch everybody's set. You know, like it happens like that in some years. But what I really loved about last year is because I wasn't like, oh my God, it's a stacked lineup. I had time to breathe. I had to take in sets and I got to chill and I got to really take in the signs. The sights, the sounds, the feeling, everything about it. And I made a lot of connections at Coachella last year. And so I'm really excited about it. And I love a spoiler, whatever. I will be watching Weekend 1 live stream from my house and taking notes. And I will give you my Weekend 1 thoughts about it from my couch, because what is really interesting about live stream versus being there is the iMag. So what is on the screens at the festival is not necessarily what you're seeing at home, which kind of throws me off a little bit. But some sets are better live streamed and then others are better in person. So I really like to see the difference in the juxtaposition, and I'm going to give you boots on the ground journalism on both because that's the kind of reporter that I am. So thank you so much for watching this week's episode of the So Yeah podcast. Keep listening and stay tuned for the next 2 weeks. Yes, there will be Coachella episodes 3 weeks in a row. This one, which is the pre-com episode of Coachella, and then a Weekend 1 next week, and then the week after that, you're going to get my thoughts about Weekend 2 from the bed. It's going to be a little ghetto, but I think I think it's going to be so fun. So you're going to catch me from the bed for Weekend 2 thoughts and feelings, and I'm really excited to give you all the intel. So yeah!